your painting thus far.
What?
Can you share your painting with us of what you've done? Can you hold it up?
There you go.
Oh,
I really got that much.
You're doing great. Really, really fun. Okay, so I just wanted to, Janelle, you showed us yours, and you guys saw mine in the chat thread. Well, maybe, what's your name again? I wish you could rename your thing. I'm gonna write it down.
Me?
Yeah.
Chelsea.
Okay. And we'll have everybody go on mute unless you guys have a question. I totally want you guys to say comments and do stuff, but just for background purposes, because there's so many people. So one of the things that I was thinking about, the reason that we were folding this and trying to segregate it into the areas is so that as we're painting, we can keep in guideline for perspective where everything's going to fall into the canvas. And so we're doing a vertical orientation, and then we have these, I still have my squares blocked off. So today I was thinking maybe we'd only be able to do a little bit, but actually I think we're going to be able to do maybe all of it, but not these trees that are bigger and not the flowers. But I just wanted to put in the greenery portion of everything. So in the end of the meeting last night, we kind of put in some of these brown colors and tan. And as I'm comparing them, they're like actually probably lighter than that. It's probably yellow ochre. But I wonder if anybody, let's start with questions. And then what we're going to do is work on these middle 4 pieces. And just kind of I always just kind of like close my eyes or segregate it. Okay, I'm matching this square, and just kind of keeping those perspectives in line. So did anybody have any questions to start with? No? Okay. So what I wanted to do, oh, that's why. Oh, and this. Let me put this in again. I have my personal assistant, Miss Amanda. She's the hottie. So Amanda lives around the corner from me. She's super fun.
I'm just borrowing all of the paint colors so I have mine chance out.
Oh, that would work just great. I didn't think of doing that. Go? Or we can do it in the computer. Is it working? Let's see. Turn it on. Yeah, that's great. Okay, you guys see it well? Where's this? See, why is it not? Is that good? Oh. I can see it in my video. That's pretty good. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with our paint colors. And these are the colors that I use for this part of the painting. So I have the yellow ochre. Is this even working?
Should I like just hold it when you're doing stuff like that?
Yeah, I don't care at all if you want to. Like, if it's kind of annoying. Well, you can take it out of this. It's like it's delayed. So I don't know how. Okay, so here's the yellow.
Okay,
and then
why is it
I know.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Okay. And then we're going to use this lime green color that was called, it's olive green light. And you don't need as much paint as I'm putting out. I'm going to do a couple paintings. So, and then the phthalo blue, which is the dark color. And then we're going to do this phthalo green. And remind me, if we use opposite colors, does that make brown? Is that right? Who's smarter than me? Come on, everybody. Okay, and then I wanted to use some black and white as well. So just a tiny bit of the black, and we'll probably use quite a bit of the white. Okay, so we have all these 4 colors, and what I'd like to do is use several brushes so I don't have to wash them as many times. And I'm going to use these smaller ones because I want the brush stroke size as we do it. I'll probably use both as well. But what we'll do is we'll kind of out with mixing the paints and getting in. I am matching. That is pretty dang close to maybe adding a little bit white into the lighter green color that we've got going. And I sometimes like to just add a tiny bit of black so that it's kind of like olive greenish, kind of muted. And if anybody feels behind or they want me to answer a question, again, come on. Okay. So when we're looking at the painting, what I wanted to do today was I wanted to do the colors on those 4 squares. And I'm looking at the back. If I took out the big trees, what colors would there be with the grasses? So if I made this color first, then I would be putting it like here. And I'm just going to kind of do some of the colors. And then I'm going to come back around and use my smaller brush. And then I'll do some more. I just wanted to, like, we just have to have color in there. So I'm going to kind of start it like that. And then I kind of want to do maybe a darker green too.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
So if you don't do that bottom area, do you worry that when you come back and do the colors, they won't be the same? Like you might not be able to mix it the same?
What?
Like you're
Oh,
leaving.
no, because we'll figure it out.
Okay.
I think we'll get it.
Okay.
That's a good question. Yeah, sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, how did I make that color? But typically, like I'm using, and she does in her paintings, she uses the same palette. And so it doesn't have much to work with. We'll figure it out. Okay, it's a good question. So I'm just trying to put the color in there, and then I'm going to go more specific to the brush strokes. Actually, I should probably just add white to this and let you use this. And then I'm going to use these smaller brushes. Yeah, you can put that on. And it's okay for the variety too. Can everybody see it okay, or probably need to get like a other setup. Okay. Okay, so have some fun. And the brown color, I think that if you mix opposites, it makes brown. Is that right? Like blue and orange would make. We'll see. I'll do it right now and I'll test it out. That's one thing that I think I learned in middle school and then never do it, so I don't remember stuff. I feel like that just made the orange and blue. Yeah, it does make brown. Okay. So we don't want like a dark brown. We want like a brown that's like kind of muted. And so I used orange and blue to make this particular brown that I'm using right this second, and a tiny bit of white. So I am, we can move this over a little bit. And it'll be fun to put in the dark bluish black colors in here too. I love that. Oh, I can use this one. Well, I'm done. I need to. I'm still great. We're just gonna have a party. I don't. Well, I think I'm gonna put some browns just to use the paint off. Hmm. I guess I feel like I should have a little bit of elevator music or something. So maybe you guys should come off mute and just talk. Trina, how did you feel your painting went? I didn't see.
I forgot to post it. Sorry.
It's okay.
You
want to hold it up for us?
not now. Now it's got stuff all over it.
Yeah, totally fine.
No, I think it went all right.
Good. I'm glad you're having fun. That's what this is about.
I've never broken it up by squares before, so I'm liking learning this differently.
Yeah. I went to Mountain Crest when I went to high school, and my teacher, his name was Maurice Weiberg, and he was the bomb. Like, I really did love him, and he kind of taught us how to do it back then. And then I did take art in college, and I got my associates in it, but it's not the do that. But he is an artist in Logan, and I think he does a Summerfest stuff. And he was saying, any of my old students who want to make a painting and submit it, I'm going to do an art show. And I was like, wow, that sounds cool. So he's invited me to paint alongside him before. And I asked him again, hey, can I still do that? He said yes. So I was kind of excited, hopefully. What do you use that one? What color is that? I don't know. I think it's green. And you might want more water, like a tiny bit of water. And so I just kind of rework these areas like over and over and over again. Especially with like taking into account the way they've stroked it. Like, I don't do everything copied, but I also try to get the feel for it. So there's like a really cool color that she uses a lot that's like a turquoise kind of a color, and we'll end up using that more so on top, I think, than underneath. I wanted it to be kind of wait for it. Really wonder. Jason, is it the white one? Jason, is it the white one? Are you talking about the white one? Yeah, I'm using it. Okay. These are in the first two squares. It uses this color that's kind of like got blue in it. I use blue, ochre, and I think it might be fun. Maybe we'll use a palette knife. I don't know if you guys have one. You can just use a brush. But palette knives are pretty cool. I like that color. Works good. There's blue in this. We're gonna have so many fun colors. Do you guys have any memories? Like what are some of your memories of art or creating it?
My grandpa, Jerry Anderson, there in Utah, he's a sculptor. So he has his studio that we used to be allowed in when he was doing his art. And he had this big thing that would keep the clay warm. And I just remember when he was making these life-size monuments, he would allow us to come in and he'd give us our own clay and he'd give us little tips about how to use certain tools to make different strokes in the clay or how to do little eyes and like sculpt out of it, or you take certain tools, scrape the clay off. It was just so fun to just sit and do that with him. Like he'd give us a few tips and then he'd have to work and we could just kind of make what we wanted. It was just a lot of fun.
That was cool. So describe his studio? What was that like?
It started in their attic of their house. He made they had a guest room, the spiral staircase that would go up, but he had built on a huge room that was like a huge guest area that had like next to their pool that had its own bathroom, it had its own kitchen, and he wanted to do his studio there. So he put like floor to ceiling windows thinking this would be his inspiration because you had big windows you could see out because he's right by Zion, so he could like see mountains all around. And he didn't feel it. So then he built a huge garage on the other side of his house. And that's where he ended up liking better. So he ended up using that as his studio. So he has like 3.
Wow. And I bet he needs like a big area too. So this Weiberg guy, one of the kids in the class when I was taking that class, his name was Sean Wallace, and his dad was an artist. And I just kind of remember him being good in high school. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I wish I was good. And then his dad, like renowned, like $10,000 per painting. I don't know, craziness stuff going on, or more. Maybe it's 100,000. I don't know, crazy amounts. But I know not every result, yes, but he has several of his paintings in the temples, like in Logan and different things like that. And so it's just kind of crazy how people get started, where their art ends up.
Yeah.
And different things like that. So his studio, the Wallace's guy. So I have a painting in my living room. I actually have about 5 paintings from the Wallace family. And they, but I don't have any from Kent because that would be not economical. So I've gone into their studio before and he has just a garage, but Kent's actual area, he like has, it looks like a house inside of the stadium or the studio. And he has rugs and like art, of course, and just like looks kind of classy and fancy inside this little thing. So
That's cool. Oh yeah, there's a statue. You guys know where Dixie College is there in St. George?
Yeah.
My statue of me is there.
What? He
Yeah,
did
I
you?
was the model. There's a statue of me. I'm a gymnast. I was 5 years old and I'm whispering. It's
What?
called First Prize or First Place. It's me whispering in my mom's ear and I'm holding a first place ribbon. That
Wow.
statue is me. I modeled for
Okay,
that.
you have to like Google it and put it into our chat thread.
Oh, okay.
I would love that.
Yeah, at SUU, he did the life-size monuments there, the Centurium that has Aristotle's, Socrates, Madame de Stael, Shakespeare. He did all those.
Wow.
I wish some of that talent would have rubbed off on me though.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I always think of that 10,000 hours stuff. And I know there's a propensity to it, but I think a lot of it can really be learned because I think, for example, Brighton, she sings amazing. And it was absolutely not hereditary for me or Jason. Jason's awful. And so it was just that she's put in that much time and energy and work and like she loves it. And so it's not like a chore for her. So that's my
My grandpa
pretend.
does not believe in talent. He believes that you can work towards anything. So he actually, so how he got to be a sculptor was there were missionaries that were there in California, and one of them had a bag he was helping up the stairs with, and the guy, they dropped the bag and he was like, oh no, and he opened it up, he had all these sculptures inside. So he actually was working, he had a wrought iron industry business in Southern California, but started doing correspondence classes through Norman Rockwell. And that's
Wow.
how he learned how to paint and got started drawing, and you had to pass courses in order to get more courses, kind of a thing. But he just never believed in talent. He just said, you just have to, you observe, see, remember. Those are the 3 keys. He said, draw everything you see, observe it, and remember what it looks like, and then do it. But the truth is he has the talent. Like he's already, like you said, has the propensity towards it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do work hard, you can definitely learn skills, and like my sister has the raw talent. She could sell her paintings. She's so good.
Huh. Which one? The pickleballer?
Share, yeah.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
why isn't she doing this with us now?
I know that would have been fun. I bought her paints, I bought her everything, but she's like, I don't have space to do it. And the kids get to my stuff and I like to like leave it out and get to it. So she just like, what are you gonna go 30 years without painting until your kids are out of the house?
Yeah, seriously. I know I could have had that excuse too. And my mom did have that excuse quite a bit, but I feel like I changed my mind about that. Actually, I really do relate to that for the fact that when I was doing stained glass, Gabe climbed out of his crib and cut himself on the glass. And I was like, okay, if my kids are getting hurt, maybe this isn't the best. And the fumes weren't good for my health.
Yeah.
So there's a couple reasons why I didn't keep doing that. Actually, Trina, I don't know. I think I did my stained glass when we lived in the same ward. Is that right?
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did it for like 7 years and I know I did it in Logan. And it was when I think my son Gabe was born. No, that wouldn't have been the same city. No, it would have been when I did it in Logan for like 3 years or 4. Anyway, so yeah, blah, blah, blah. I'd go to the farmers markets and do that stuff. And it's fun, but so much work to set up those booths. I think, oh my gosh, you guys do this up and down every week. People are dedicated.
I didn't paint for a long time when like I did in high school, and then I didn't take any art classes in college, and I didn't like I did a lot of crafty stuff when my kids were young, but it was always, after they went to bed and I had to put it away and everything. And I decided that I liked them seeing me do something that I enjoy and something that I could like maybe be good at,
Absolutely.
you know, and that helps them to want to do things that they could be artistic with, whether it's art or anything else. So I think that not doing it because your kids are young is almost a disservice to them and you, because you need an outlet when they're young.
Yeah.
And like to feel alive. Like if something makes you feel alive, to remove that from your life, what are you teaching your kids? Like in that retrospect, if it does that for you. I
Yeah.
totally agree, Trina.
Yeah, that's true.
But everybody has like, I mean, there's so many reasons why people do or don't do things. And I don't know. Okay, so I'm kind of working this darker charcoal color that I just made. And I'm gonna be putting, I don't know if you can see it matching very well, but just, oh, can you not? Can they see it okay? So I'm just keep going and keep building the colors in the back. So yeah, anyway. Just kind of keep going. And so building in these dark colors are really important. It's going to give your picture depth. If you don't have it, you're going to miss it in your painting. And I almost go too heavy on the dark because you can always paint on top of it with your other colors. So don't be too shy with the darks. What can I get you any other colors, or do you need anything else?
Oh, no, I'm good.
And we can make more.
I don't know what I'm doing.
You're doing great. Doing good.
So my son walked in on me last night painting. Do you guys want to see what he did?
Yeah.
See?
Oh,
Isn't that cute?
which kid was it?
Matthew, he's 11.
That's really, really sweet. I love how kids draw. My daughter Thea, she draws a lot, and she found out that on the YouTube Google Hub thingy that it can teach you how to draw. And so she'll say, Google, how do you draw, blah, blah, blah. And then she does it. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And that's kind of how my brain works. Like if I see something, I can totally pretty much duplicate it, but I can't pull it out of thin air. So you were saying to remember and then to draw it, Janelle, something like that from your
Yeah.
grandpa. Totally cannot draw from my imagination. Like
Me neither.
you tell me to draw a cat, that's as good as it looks like a two-year-olds.
I tell my students I can draw stick people, so that's about it. I'm better at painting than drawing.
Okay, I might have to start another Zoom link. I'm so sorry. I was willing to upgrade and pay for Zoom, but like as often as I use it, I tried and then I couldn't remember my password last night. So
I have
And
a
then-
license through my work. I should have just done it.
oh, do you know how to do the recordings? Like, do you know how to upload them onto YouTube?
No, I've never done that.
Okay, then it's okay. I'll just do it twice. But anyway, I apologize for the inconvenience. So instead of using straight black, I'm always mixing that black with another color. And so I already kind of did like a charcoal blue or a charcoal color. I'm going to go back over a lot of those areas and kind of just add some of this blackish stuff. Black blue. I went over and painted. So we had a neighbor who just moved in and they are so fun. They got a bounce house for people to come, the kids to get to know the other kids for their daughter's birthday. So my kids were over there, played, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, oh, maybe it'd be fun. I took my face paint over there and I asked her what she wanted and she wanted a monster. So I did it, but honestly, it looked so bad. So I was like, oh, that was fun. didn't have my game on. So mom was probably laughing.
I lost my burnt sienna. Where did I put it?
Did anybody have anything funny that happened today? I don't know why. I guess I like laughing. I played pickleball with my husband and with my son, and I didn't have very much energy to do it, but that was fun. We did that in the afternoon. But then we came home. I wonder if my kid's listening right now, but he didn't want to do his chores, and I was making it fun, and I made him laugh, and he didn't want to. That really mad at me. So that was funny. Probably not for him.
Well, I'm just watching you and yeah, because I missed last night's class, so I'm just watching.
Is that you?
This is Ann.
Hi, Auntie. So good to see you. So, did you get a paint set?
Yeah, I have a paint set. So what I'm doing is I'm just like practicing on a watercolor paper because
Yeah, I painted on that too. Yeah, that's fine. That's a good idea.
but I got a good laugh. I mean, so I have team huddles at my job and my team huddle today, because we do a stress less huddle, we just played Kahoot, and instead of me creating and making up all the questions, I just looked on Kahoot and they had, I mean, they're kids, but they have summer school Kahoots.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just funny. We did the astronomy, and there was one where you're a submarine and you have to answer these questions or else you'll get eaten by the shark. And then like my team members, they were just being goofy at the end, and somebody's like, um, well, you'll be booted by the one who tooted, and everyone just started cracking up.
Yeah, and you're like, hopefully not. That is so fun. I've never played that game. Has everybody else played that and it's just me?
Yeah, that's fun. My students love that.
Yeah, Kahoot
Yeah, I
is
played
something
it
that you
all
can
the
like
time.
create quizzes and stuff, and then the kids can all chime in on with their answer, and
Or maybe I
they
have.
play it
I
at
think
school all the time.
Yeah, I do it at school.
I would like to do that. I think we've done it for like, tried to do it for Mother's Day or Father's Day or something and did a password or something weird. So that was kind of fun, but I didn't design it. I thought it sounded hard.
Yeah, you can make up your own, but that was my laugh for the day because I don't know why it was funny, but it was.
No, it's like one of those things that anything you kind of repeat. Most of the time when we repeat things, they don't sound that funny. They are when you're there. That's fun.
I need a thinner paintbrush.
Yeah, I got some paintbrushes from like, it's like a nail art paintbrush, but it's just super, super thin. I got them super cheap.
Nail art.
Yeah, like I like to paint my toes, like fancy. Sometimes.
Nails. Like an art that you use nails or something.
Yeah, well, it's this one. This one is the brush.
Oh,
That one's too big.
It's kind of like a weird brush, but
that's tiny.
totally works. I said we weren't going to draw those trees in, but I have. I've just tried to do the other colors first, I guess. So I just keep reworking the areas over and over and over again. Oh, we're doing good on time. This is going to be good. I do like using a palette knife. Maybe I'll try it a little bit with some of the other colors.
Usually for bushes, I like using those fan brushes, the flat fan brushes, but I couldn't find mine today.
Oh, I've tried using it before, but honestly, I don't have that much success with it. So
If you start at, I watch Bob Ross, so if you start at the bottom and then just brush up. That's
Okay.
the key. Like start at the bottom and then go like fan up.
when did you watch Bob Ross? When
Like-
you were little, or like just
No,
recently?
like as an adult, so when I was living at my old house, Mike and I were desperate when our kids were a little bit like, it was a couple years ago, to try to get them to like wind down at the end of the day. Elena is so hyper. She never stops. She just always is going and doesn't stop. So Michael put Bob Ross on, and I'll be darned, I've never seen my kids so enamored and like quiet. They just sat and watched for like an hour, and then they all just fell asleep on the couch, and we were just like, win. So there was a good year where we just watched Bob Ross every night.
I used to do it too. His voice is just so calming.
Yeah, it is.
I think the girls in our ward did like a paint night, and that they called it a Bob Ross paint night. So, oh, I wonder.
Sometimes we'll just sit and like we've done this a couple times with our kids. We'll give everybody a canvas and we'll all sit at the table, and Mike and I will play Bob Ross and we'll paint along with him. And the kids can kind of paint what they want. It's fun.
Well, I don't think my husband's ever painted with me. I thought it'd be fun to do like a date night thing, but I think he'd be like, I suck, and then not do it. Not that it matters. One of my brothers, he is awesome and just like he does art, like what's it called? The kind that doesn't look like anything. Abstract art, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
abstract.
and he made this one piece that he would dab it like this, and so the painting came out, and it was like this thick off the canvas, and it looks crazy, and it's just kind of crazy you spend that much time doing it. I don't know what motivates him.
Wow.
How's everybody coming along?
Mine looks more like a jungle than a wild field.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yours
It's got
looks
too many
so good.
dark greens in it, bright greens,
You said you want to put more bright greens in it?
No,